Paralysis by analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Septa Baseball Insider Show is brought to you by Dion Square, Septa, Pat Dion Beverage, Penn Community Bank, and BCWSA. Let's go live and get set for the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazer and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Tommy, we are live. We finally did our dream right here, right?
Yes, sir.
During the summer, we do it at Keenan's, which is awesome. We do it at the ballpark, which is great. And now in the fall, this is our best fall location we've ever done.
Hands down.
Hands down. We are at the Chesapeake, in Chesapeake City, Maryland. We're at the Chesapeake Inn. If you are anywhere near the Delaware, Maryland, even Philly, it takes you an hour and 10 minutes to get down here. Come down here. We are doing a special Darren Daulton Foundation event. Just started. We've got a lot of players here. We've got Danny Jackson. We got, obviously, Tommy's here. You've got Dickie Knowles. You've got
Wes Chamberlain.
Dave Hollins. You got Steve Jelps. You got Danny Jackson. I think I said that.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun down here. Ruben Amaro's coming here. Is Mickey coming here?
Yeah, Mickey's here.
Mickey's here.
I haven't seen him
All
yet,
right.
but he kind of slips in and out. He's small, you know.
That other voice you just heard right there is Giancarlo, who's the owner here. And, John, I can't thank you enough for having us here.
John Marco.
What did I say?
Giancarlo, that's fine.
Did I say John Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal.
John Marco. All right. Sorry.
It's okay.
We're all guilty of
I
something.
thought your other friends call you John Carlo, no?
They call me John Franco, Giancarlo.
All right.
They got another choice name
John
for
Marco.
him. We can't really say.
John Marco, now tell us about – I can't believe I said John Carlos.
Well,
John Marco, tell us about this because this place is awesome. I know that I've come down here a bunch because my daughter used to go to camp down here, and we used to come – we'd drop her off and come right here, and then we'd pick her up, come right here. And I know during COVID, Jimmy Buffett pulled unfortunately, the late Jimmy Buffett pulled his boat up here.
He did. Yeah, he did. He actually, I guess his manager called us 2 days before and said, hey, look, we have a special guest that wants to come visit you guys and stop in, but we need 24-hour security on his boat. And I said, what? Can you just tell me who the special guest is? He goes, do you know Jimmy Buffett? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
So he literally pulled up like right out front of us right here.
Yeah, so he pulled up, and we brought all the food right down to his boat. He was filming a video on the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
So he got some merch from our shop, and
Nice.
he got sushi. He loved the crab bisque.
Did you get to meet him?
The food here is unbelievable.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that, Tommy. So let's talk about our day.
I gained 5 pounds talking about it.
Well, yesterday we came down and we golfed at Patriots Glen.
Yes.
Right? We had a good crew, Danny Jackson, myself, you,
Hollins,
Dave Hollins,
Scott Air,
a bunch of crew, a big crew. Then we came right here, and we basically, John Marco set us up on the outdoor deck. Beautiful day, boats everywhere, people partying on the boats.
Oh, man, this place was jumping.
And John Marco kept sending appetizer after appetizer.
Yeah.
Everything. We had Brussels sprouts, you had wings, you had
it was all
crab
kind of
dip
stuff.
and
Sushi.
Lamb chops.
lamb chops.
Yeah.
Lamb
And
chop.
then what you did is you fattened us up because then we came. That was at 5 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
Then we come back at 7:30 for a big dinner. He hosted a huge dinner up here.
It was unbelievable.
And then more appetizers. So I'm eating there, and all of a sudden it gets the waitress said, "What do you want for your entree?" I said,
brings a menu out, and I'm like,
I said, I don't.
Done.
I was done.
I didn't order it.
I ordered a half dozen oysters because that's the only thing I could actually fit in my stomach.
Dave Hollins loved the pork chop, he told me.
Oh yeah, he
Pork
did.
chop's
Dave
great.
did order that. I mean,
Yeah.
he was the only him and Scott Freeze was the only one that ordered dinner, I think.
All right, so John Marco, too, tell us about you have another connection that one of the reasons why a lot of these guys are here is you came down to fantasy camp to get to know a lot of the guys.
I want to know how that went.
Talk about your experience. Last year was your first year of fantasy camp.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that experience.
So, a couple friends here in Delaware, they mentioned, hey, let's do this fantasy camp. I've always wanted to do it, and I didn't want to do it by myself. So the opportunity presented itself, and I have to be honest with you, it was one of the best experiences of my life. I actually already signed up for next year.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And your managers, you had Ruben, right?
Yeah, so Ruben Amaro, it was his first year.
Poor you.
And Randy Reddy.
Randy, ready?
They
Spiky. I like.
So we had a bunch of rookie players, and our team went pretty well. We did 4-0. Then we ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw, and they whipped us a little bit. Some veterans, but we had a blast. The whole fantasy cap experience. As growing up as a Phillies fan, being able to like see your idols there, it was kind of like crazy.
Well, now you're friends with them,
I know.
and they're all coming
They're
here.
texting me.
Right.
No, my thing is, how long did it take you to recover from that?
It was rough. I mean, I'll be honest. So I'm a lefty, and our team had about 6 first basemen, so I volunteered to catch. I was like, I catch. I haven't caught since, Little League.
You might have been the biggest catcher.
I was a big So
the tallest, and you're the big man.
So I said I'll volunteer to catch. So the first day went pretty well. I felt pretty good. Then as the day progressed, it got a little worse, and then by the time
double headers get you.
then the next morning was the rough part, getting up and out of bed, and I eventually. They tell you the first day to go hit the medical staff, but
right.
you got to get on the first bus, the 7 a.m. bus. I was out there at 6:30 ready for the bus.
Right.
So I get in there, the medical staff, and I said, look, I really can't feel from my thighs down.
Is that a problem?
That's a problem.
So he said, don't worry, I'll hook you up. So I get in there, and he takes his hand into this, I don't know what, a concoction.
Yeah.
He says, look, it's going to feel good for the first game. But the second game, it's going to burn a little bit when he starts sweating. So the first game was going great. I said, man, I feel great. I feel young again.
The second game.
By the afternoon game, when the Clearwater sun hits you, I could feel my legs just burning.
Oh, it's strong.
I couldn't feel from my legs down.
You couldn't feel it, which is good.
It was good.
It was good. It's a
Now,
good thing.
one of your legends, Randy Reddy, the legend is that when John Kruk got traded over from the Padres, they had to throw Randy Reddy into the deal to control Kruk.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to send just Kruk by himself for the Phillies' own, interest.
Yes.
It
They had
wouldn't
to
have been
throw
a good.
Spiky right in there.
They had to throw, and he's a little nuts too.
Oh,
so.
yeah. There's some
me tell you.
screws missing.
Let me tell you, Randy's underrated, man. He's a good time.
Oh,
Right.
he really is a good time.
Well, you also hung out with some of the new guys like Aaron Rowan,
Mickey Mo?
right?
Yes.
You got Mickey Morandini right here.
Yeah, Mickey.
The commissioner, the Commick.
So the commissioner got on me a little bit. I have to tell that story.
Oh, get him.
So, basically, I volunteered to catch, and I didn't have a cup.
Right.
Oh, here
So-
we go.
So,
I'm involved in the story somehow.
I figured, I catch. Do I really need a cup? So the first game,
First
Famous last words. You're like, oh,
they're not
Jesus Christ.
they're not throwing that hard. The first game,
It ain't about throwing hard, dude.
I know. So trust me. So basically, Scott's throwing. He was throwing all right. I'm like, all right, I feel good. But then the second game, Reds, my other teammate started throwing, and he was throwing a little harder, and he was bouncing some in there. So I called time, and I found you, if you
Right.
remember.
Yeah, I do.
And I said, I need a cup. So you got me a cup from one of the players.
I did.
Locker. It was a great cup. I mean, I still got it. So basically,
nothing
That's
like putting-
legitimately a lifesaver, dude. I'm
It was.
telling you.
And nothing like putting on a used cup, right?
well, so basically, I couldn't run back in the locker room because we were in the middle of a game. So I kind of went behind the bleachers, just pulled my pants down and put the cup on. Right. So then the next day, you have a little bit of like a kangaroo court, I guess you want to say. And Mickey said, I need to call up John Marco. He brings me up. And then they give me a little ribbon about not wearing a cup. And then Ricky Jordan comes over and taps it and goes, we must have quit if the cup don't fit. So that was
You got lucky. You got out of there unscathed.
I did.
And, my quick little piece to that, I had a high school catcher named Houston Horn, good catcher. Never wore a cup.
Really?
The only time he got banged up was the foul tip, and that's when you're going to get banged.
And
I've seen him twice in infantile position like this on home plate laid up. Yeah, that's what you were in for. Yeah,
Well,
that one foul tip. It's not about you blocking
You're
stuff.
right.
It's just about that one foul
Well, and
tip.
you've already had your kids, so you're
I did. And you're right about the foul tip.
and
because
you still got the bass in your voice right now.
I do. So for any of you out there that are listening and you're contemplating fantasy camp, I highly recommend it.
All right,
Oh,
so
that's
couple,
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
couple questions. So for the Chesapeake Inn,
Yes.
you guys are obviously we're in the fall. Are you guys? I'm assuming you're open all year round.
Yeah, so this is our 27th year we've been here. This is like a little mini resort, we say. It's just missing a hotel at this point. We do weddings. The spot you're in right now, we host a lot of private events. We have a marina for people to come in and out by boat. We have a casual tiki bar, live entertainment. That's
Man,
really
that
popular.
tiki bar bangs, man.
It's fun.
And the town is great too.
Great
it's
little
a
town.
great
Yeah.
little bed and breakfasts,
Yeah.
coffee shops, and everything. So and we're right on a canal.
Yeah.
Right, and it's there's restaurants kind of all over.
Yeah.
And it's such a and you have some B&Bs right
Yeah,
in
so,
the area.
Yeah. So there's there's 3 great little B&Bs in town, and there's a handful of Airbnbs.
Airbnbs, yeah.
So basically, if you want to come to town, it's a great little getaway town.
And again, we're an hour and 15 minutes from Philly.
Yeah, it's great.
So
you're really close. I mean, on the waterway, we got so many people from Philadelphia, New Jersey come in by boat, and literally,
You see some awesome boats here too, man. It's unbelievable.
You do, and you're an hour from Philly. You're an hour from the Inner Harbor. So you're in a great meeting spot here. Yeah.
Well, if you're anywhere close, come on down and visit us up here. John Marco, I really appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you
man.
very
I
much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you
All
for
right,
having
we're
us,
looking
brother.
forward this afternoon. All right,
You
John
got it.
Marco.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, just a little bit. We got to talk about last night's game because the Fighting Phils. After coming off that Braves series, which is a tough series because
we could have won 3 out of 4 games there.
We could have, and even though we had a couple comebacks that then with dramatic home runs, right?
Yep.
Bryce Harper hits a dramatic home run, and then we go to extra innings. We haven't fared well in extra innings, but
pitching, sort of let us down a little bit. But that happens. But we were right there. We gave them a run for the money. They know that we're not going to lay down, just because they're the mighty Braves, so to speak.
Exactly right. We came into with the Cardinals coming in town, and that's when you got to
take advantage.
Beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Yes.
And Friday night we had a lead.
Yep.
And I think they left on like 17 players on runners on.
Oh my God.
On base, literally.
It was ridiculous.
They had bases loaded on Friday night. In the 8th, and the 9th, and somehow the Phillies held on. You had at one point
out of that.
You had a bases loaded with Goldschmidt up right in the 9th inning, and we got out of it somehow. So, and then last night, Ranger Suarez pitched a great game.
I tell you, these last couple games has been about as good as you can get. I mean, he's thrown the ball outstanding, and we need that. We got to trend in the right direction here at the end. We got to have those 3 guys we're counting on with the Wheeler, the Nola, and Suarez. I really think that's your 3 guys that you got to have trending in the right direction going right here at the end of the season.
I agree, and we made a decision that Lorenzen will be going to the bullpen.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it.
Right, and they're trying to. He's pitched more innings than he's ever had in his career. Same thing with Sanchez.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is next week
piggyback
against the Braves.
Yeah.
I think Wheeler's going to start game 1 Monday, and then game 2 will be. Piggyback
Sanchez
and then Lorenzen. So that could be a good combination.
Yeah.
And then eventually Lorenzen will go into that. We've been short a bullpen guy all year because we've gone to 6 rotation, or not all year, last month or so.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have one more guy in the bullpen, which he needs.
He's done it. That was what he was noted for most of his career.
And his velocity was like 97 miles an hour as a reliever.
Well, that's what it is because you throw your fastball. To get ready, you're throwing it.
Right.
To get ready to come in ball games, so you're using your fastball more. And so, in the old adage, you don't use it, you lose it a little bit.
Yep.
It's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Well, then how about Kyle Schwarber? Because one of the great stories, John Kruk has already called 2 home runs. Right? This
is classic.
John Kruk has already called 2 home runs on the air. Well, last night, if nobody heard it, we were coming up and. Scott Fransky said
he's filling in for Tom.
Filling in for McCarthy because Tom McCarthy's doing football.
Yeah. And
Scott Fransky said, John, something like, "Have you ever been up to the St. Louis Arch?" And he said, "No, I'm scared of heights. I don't want to go up there."
Kruk hates to fly. He drives everywhere.
Right.
It's like Hollins.
So Schwarber's up with 2 guys on base, and John Kruk said, "Tell you what, if Schwarber hits a home run here, I'll go up into the St. Louis Arch."
Yeah.
And literally. 2 seconds later,
he hit a ball about as hard as you could.
Drive.
I thought the first baseman was going to catch that ball, and it went out.
And it just kept rising, and then went right inside the foul pole.
3-run homer.
3-run home run, and now John Kruk. I think the last I heard, I texted Fransky this morning, and he said they couldn't get it open because it's closed on Sundays. But
they got to hold him accountable for that. That's got to be either.
Yes, he's got to do something
next year, or
I did send Fransky a text, and I said. You guys are going to New York as the last road trip, right? At the end of the season, for the last weekend.
Well, you got to make it go up to the top
of the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
that might be
the observation deck.
Right, that might be his
that could be pretty good
penalty because he said it on the air. Which brings us up, Tommy. It's time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866 pay easy, and it has something to do with Kyle Schwarber.
How about that?
Because Kyle Schwarber now has 90 home runs since he joined the Phillies. That is the most ever by any Phillies player in their first two seasons with the team. Jim Thome had 89 home runs
That's
in his
impressive, man.
in his first 2 seasons with the Phillies. Again, Kyle Schwarber 90, and we still have 2 weeks to go. So that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY.
That's an impressive feat in what he's done.
Right.
Look what he's done. He's almost I want him to get over the Mendoza line.
Yep.
You know, and he's right there. And he's batting 197 right now. And that's come a long way. He's had to hit for the past month and a half.
And
ever since Turner's started his thing, I mean, he's sort of been on a little tear for him, too.
And then Schwarber, it's good to see because Schwarber was also in a little slump. I think he was 0 for his last 16, I believe.
And he's still at 197.
Yep, and then he hits that. So good for him.
This is good. Maybe he's trending in the right direction.
And he's going to cause John Kruk to get over his what do you
I can't wait to see Jake, man.
Whatever that heightophobia. It's not agoraphobia. It's something.
It's hard to believe. John Kruk is scared of friggin' heights.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, coming up, we've got a lot of guests here. We're going to talk with Scott Air. Scott is up here giving
Speaking
his
of lefties,
big personality.
another lefty.
You are listening to Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland.
The Humeville Inn on Trenton Road in nearby Humeville is your hometown craft beer and pub food establishment since 1997 with daily specials and the best place to catch every Phillies game this season. The Humeville Inn has been consistently named the best bar in the burbs. Check out our homemade food specials changing weekly. The Humeville Inn at the corner of Trenton and Humeville Roads in nearby Humeville. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We now return to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazer and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
Love John Newsom. All right, we are back to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City. Tommy, we got a fun day today. I forgot to say we have some giveaways.
Yes, we do.
We have.
How about this thing?
Well, first of all, we got.
You want to open it
are
up?
at a Darren Daulton Foundation event.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Darren Daulton Foundation merch.
Yeah.
One is they showed this when the broadcast is in the stands.
Yeah.
It's a baby Kruk picture with John Kruk's Little League photo on the back.
Yeah, how about that?
We will give that away.
Yeah, we want to give that away.
We'll definitely give away. We have another
I just bought one of those.
Did you? Yeah.
I'm gonna wear it to the live casino event for bartending.
Awesome. We also have a Darren Daulton long sleeve.
Yes, we do.
Number 10. It's kind of a nice thing to give away. And then my man Andrew, who I was hanging out with all last night.
Yeah.
From Dewey Crush. Anybody who lives in the tri-state area,
Good stuff.
especially down in Rehoboth, Dewey Beach area, but now it's branching out big time. Dewey Crush is a great canned liquor. It's real vodka. In fact, Scott, right now that you're breaking every FCC violation there is.
It's water.
It's water.
I already drank the Dewey Crush.
But my man Andrew gave us a Dewey Crush prize pack, which includes cans. It's a, what is that, 8-pack right there of cans?
Yeah, thanks.
That's a Dewey Crush shirt and some Dewey Crush stickers.
Yes.
So someone's going to win that. So someone's going to win that. They're going to win one of 2 T-shirts. And we're doing something very random, okay? Scott Air, your first duty before you even talk about your career, you are going to close your eyes and you're going to point your finger, and whatever name you call right here will win. Which one do we want to do first? You want to do let's do the Crux shirt.
Do the Crux.
Crux shirt.
Okay.
All right, close your eyes.
Let's put it
All
down.
right, here, get it. Put it down.
Look, we got the
There's
host.
2 sheets there.
You got 2 sheets.
Point
one
your
there,
finger
one-
to one, and we'll name a winner right here. Right there. All right, what do you got? This one right here?
Tom Tague.
Tom Tague.
Tague.
If there's a Tom Tague
Tague.
here, Tom Tague wins the John Kruk T-shirt. So we'll get Tom Craig.
Tom Tague.
Tague, I should say. All right.
Tag you.
Before
Tag you're it.
before we bring on Scott, did you know that Septa operates a fully electrified multimodal rail system and has one of the largest
No, I
green
didn't.
bus fleets in the nation?
No, I didn't.
2 reasons why Septa commuters have 1/3 the carbon footprint of those who travel by car. Visit iSeptaPhilly.com to plan your trip today. That's iSeptaPhilly.com. All right, Scott Air, what's up, buddy?
Not much.
How
Enjoying
about our
my time
lefty?
here.
How about our lefty?
Who lives now in your home state?
Yes, he is.
Lives in North Carolina.
He's moved to God's country.
Yes,
yes
I
he
love it
has.
too.
Now, you were down in Bradenton before,
Yeah,
right?
I got out of that Hades hot place.
Yeah.
27 years. I told my wife, I said, I'm done. We got to move. How far north can we go
Hey.
for it to be not cold enough for you to be okay?
I call that a good punt.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You
and she said, North Carolina's as far as I'll go north. I said, well, that's it. We're moving.
Now, what part of North Carolina are you
We're in Columbus. It's about 45 minutes south of Asheville.
Okay.
Just above Spartanburg. About probably an hour and a
You're right
half
there at
from
the
where-
border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right on the border.
So
Yeah.
does anybody in your neighborhood know that there's a World Series champion living in their area?
Yeah, they do, unfortunately. I tell them.
You tell them.
No, I started playing golf a couple years ago with 4 guys in my
There's some
subdivision.
beautiful courses up
Yes.
there, man.
And did they know when you first started golfing with them who you were?
Now, they knew because when I moved in, it's a small community, so yeah, they kind of knew who I was. But then we don't talk about it a lot. We more talk about golf. But they're all 70, and I just turned 51, so I play golf with them. I'll tell you what, it's the greatest day ever. I play with them. They have no qualms. They don't give a crap if they hit it in the woods.
Do they hit from the senior tees?
They hit from the ones behind the senior tees.
Yeah.
So they play technically the silver. We have the tips, the blue, or we have tips, gold, and silver, and then the ladies seniors, and they play from the silver at 75.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun.
And they hit it probably as straight as you can possibly hit it, too.
90. Well, one guy has a beautiful draw, and I love watching him. He's 75, and he shot a 78 the other day.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had on for our podcast. We had whatchamacallit, Cott, Jim Cott.
Yeah.
Jim Cott has shot his age or better 4 times, 3 left-handed, 1 right-handed.
Oh my God.
How
It's
about that?
unbelievable.
Shot his age 4 times.
That's ridiculous.
It's totally ridiculous. All right, speaking of age, now you are used to hanging out with older folks because when you play, one of my favorite stories of yours is when you played for the Giants.
No, Cubs.
Cubs, sorry.
I know where you're going.
Yes, when you played for the Cubs, you learned this from Rod Beck. Where did you live in spring
How
training?
about that dude?
Oh, yeah.
You
I got the
man.
idea from him and Tim Worrell.
Okay.
Worrell had so I bought an RV one year, and I wanted to drive it out to Arizona, save some money. It's expensive to live in spring training for 6 weeks. They charge you quite a bit of money just
Yes,
for the
they
6
do.
weeks.
Yeah.
So I thought, we'll get the RV, and when I'm done playing ball, we'll travel in as a family, which we did, and some great trips. But I called this place, and it was a 55 and older community.
And you're 30.
So I was 35 at the time,
Okay.
I think, 36 maybe. So I asked the lady on the phone. I said, "Hi, I'm calling to see about getting a reservation, but I'm not 55." And she goes, "Oh, are you making it for your parents?" I said, "No, ma'am, it's for me. I'm coming out for spring training. I play for the Cubs." And immediately she stopped right then. She goes, "Wait, what?"
Wait,
And
what?
I said, yeah, I play for the Cubs. I'm a pitcher. And I said, I don't want to stay in a place. I want to drive my RV up, but I know you have restrictions. She's like, well, we don't normally. And then I heard someone in behind her say, did he say he plays for the Cubs? And she says, yes, he did. And she's talking to the person behind her. And I kind of finagled my way into staying there for the 6 weeks of spring training. I was by far the youngest in there.
And did you dominate in bocce and shuffleboard?
No, I got my butt kicked in bingo all the time. They had bingo twice a week. I'd never played I played some shuffleboard with some older people.
Yeah.
But the best part of the story, I told Tommy just last night.
Yeah.
Well, I'm back in my RV and to first pull in, and this lady looks at me and she goes, "Oh, is your folks moving in here or something like that?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I'm staying here for 6 weeks." And she goes, "Oh, you're the baseball player." So she already knew.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it travels quick.
And then she invited me over for dinner.
Is that right?
She did. And I'm not joking. She had meatloaf, potatoes, and it was very good. She lived straight across the street from me, so I'd get up in the morning, 6:37, go to the spring training. And she'd be out there already sitting on her back porch smoking a cigarette.
Now, I also remember your first spring
Salt
training.
of the earth, man.
Your first spring training with the Phillies, you had a unique vantage point for one of the games.
Well, it was the best point there is. I asked Ruben for permission.
Right.
I was sitting in the bullpen with nothing to do. I'd pitched the day before, and I looked at Durbin and Lidge and Condrey, and I said, "I'll be back. Take a look up above the press box in about 20 minutes. I'll wave to you guys." So I found out how to get up there, and I asked Ruben, I go, "Do you care if I watch the game from the roof?" I don't know if he really heard me or not, but he said, "Sure, I don't care." So I went in and found the little door and the ladder to go upstairs, and I watched an inning and a third.
What year was this?
09.
His first year.
Yeah, my only spring training there, actually.
Right.
So I was sitting on top of the roof, and all of a sudden the door flies open and, comes flying up, and the security guy goes, "You got to come down now." And he was all serious.
Did they know you were a player?
Yeah. But I turned and I looked at him and I go, "I only gave it one run yesterday. I'm not going to jump. I'm fine."
Oh, you're in uniform. Well, obviously you're in uniform.
I was in uniform, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a guy to the right of us on the first base side that was taking pictures of me. I'm waving at him. I found him in camp later that couple weeks later, and he gave me the pictures of it. But I turned to the security guy, though. I thought it was funny. I was like, "I only gave up a run. I'm not jumping, buddy. I'm fine." He's like, "No, you got to come down now. It's safety hazards." I go, "I figured, but why is there 7 of you?"
Yeah.
When I got down back into the closet little room to go up in there, the escape hatch area, there was like 7 security guys. I'm like, "What's wrong?"
There's only one other person I think would ever do that.
Darren. Danny Jackson.
Well, I don't know.
Danny would
I
do
was
that.
thinking, well, first of all, it's a left-hander like you.
Okay.
And I was thinking on the lines of Mitch Williams.
Yeah, I can see Mitch.
Mitch might have jumped though.
That's true.
He might have seen if he could make it to the net.
Yeah, he'd missed that
Just
too.
to let you know, Scott, that fans are allowed to get photos with Mickey Morandini inside for $10. We have a Mickey Morandini photo booth. So, Scott, if you want to get your picture with Mickey Morandini, you can go inside and just pay $10.
No.
All you got to do. No.
Only with Tommy.
Only with Tommy. That's $20.
Only with Tommy because he makes me smaller.
All right, so let's also talk about the reunion. You had a reunion, the 2018.
Yes.
I remember when the Flyers won the Stanley Cup, they said you're going to live together in infamy, your teammates. You'll have that bond, and you'll always have that special memory. I mean, how great was that? When you guys won the World Series in 2008, did that totally cement you guys together and do you feel the legacy that you guys created?
It cemented me because I was the new guy. I got there, and first
you were
of
the
August.
baby,
I was
the
the
newbie.
baby. I was the newbie. I got there 1st of August, and I got out to the bullpen, and that bullpen was pretty good, and they were pretty close.
Right.
To this day, we still have a group chat with I believe it's Lidge, Durbin, Condrey, Coasty. I think JC's in it, but he doesn't ever respond. There's like 7 or 8 of us in it, and it's like somebody else something will happen in the game, and like they'll post a Lidge stat about how awesome he was that year or something. We'll be like, "Oh, they're pumping up Brad again,"
right?
And it'll escalate into like 30 group texts. But then nothing will happen for a couple months, and then something will happen. Like Durbin's son is a really good pitcher, so he'll post some of his stats on there. Something we'll all start talking about it. So that part of it is a lot of fun.
Is Ryan Madsen as funny online as he is in person?
No, because he doesn't do the voices.
Right.
He can't do the voices through text, but yes, he is.
Okay.
Clay's the secret comedy one.
Right.
Condrey.
Right.
That raises a question. Now, I mean, who's the starter that we? Yeah, he was there on the tape, but he started, I think, that year for y'all. Who's the guy I'm thinking about off that team? To start, he ended up closing. He could close too.
For the Phillies?
Yeah,
Myers?
Myers.
Right,
Yeah,
Brett
I
Myers,
was playing with him. That dude. I had some of the best. Some of the best nights.
I enjoy Brett in moderation.
I tell you what,
Not Brett Dado.
You're talking about
we love Brett Dado.
But you're talking about high energy.
Oh man,
he's a country music star now.
Well, it's high energy, but there's no volume on his voice.
Right.
If you're trying to be quiet about something, Brett doesn't understand what that means.
You can't turn him off.
No, there's no turning him off or down.
Right.
But yes, he's a funny guy. He has some good one-liners, some comebacks.
Yes, he does.
And Tommy, you knew
he's a good dude.
But he's
man.
also very passionate. He was
Yes,
very
he
like
is.
when I got there. He would. Because I was new to the division, so we were facing the Mets and the other teams in the National. I didn't know those lefties as much as from playing in the Central with the Cubs.
Yeah.
So he would go over some of the hitters with me, even being a righty and a starter. He would be like, "Hey, this is how we pitch him as a righty. This is how Hamels pitches him."
Right.
So it was fun to talk to him about stuff like that. He was loves the game.
Yep.
He's very passionate about
And
it.
again, he's a I wouldn't even
Country
say
singer.
I
No,
don't even know
it's-
if he's a country singer. He's more of like a
I don't give a crap if you like my music singer.
right, loud, heavy metal country.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a mix of everything. I've heard him do some rap, some hard rock, some softer
and he's
stuff.
got the personality to do that.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, because he doesn't care.
Right.
But everyone else thinks he does what he wants, and you got to admire that to a certain extent.
Exactly
yeah.
right.
He,
All right,
he played that way too. With that passion, man.
Scott, appreciate having a couple drinks after the
pleasure.
show. Thank you very much. Come down here and see Scott Ayers, see everybody else. Coming up in the show, we're going to talk with Wes Chamberlain. You're listening to Septa Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We're live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland.
The Humeville Inn on Trenton Road in nearby Humeville is your hometown craft beer and pub food establishment since 1997, with daily specials and the best place to catch every Phillies game this season. The Humeville Inn has been consistently named the best bar in the burbs. Check out our homemade food specials, changing weekly. The Humeville Inn, at the corner of Trenton and Humeville Roads in nearby Humeville. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Penn Community Bank, we're your financial partner for all of life's moments. Our checking accounts are designed with you in mind, providing convenient access and 5-star mobile and online banking services to help you achieve your goals. Right now, you can earn a $350 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offers subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We now return to the Septa Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazer and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to Septa Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa's hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you will earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, the win
That's very well done, Brazer.
Thank you, Tommy. The win last night basically got us ahead. We had teams started tightening up when we played the Braves.
Yes.
But now we are 4 games ahead of the Cubs, who are falling a little bit. 3.5 ahead of the Cubs, but we have the tiebreaker. So in a sense, we are 4.5 up.
Yeah.
We are 4 games up on Cincinnati, 4 games up on Arizona, 4.5 on Miami, and 6.5 on San Francisco. And the tiebreaker situation is we have the tiebreaker over Chicago.
Yeah.
We have the tiebreaker over Cincinnati and Arizona. We do not have the tiebreaker over Miami or San Francisco. So really the teams with 14 games left, 7 home, 7 away, we want to make sure the Miami stays, and San Fran's pretty 6.5 back.
Well,
so.
I mean, the good thing that happened this week, I mean, we hit our little bit of skid trouble against Atlanta. We gave away some games, but
now we're getting.
But the Cubs and stuff were losing too. I mean, which kind of helped us out. Sometimes you need a little help.
Well,
but now the past few nights we've done what we needed to do to take care of ourselves.
Well, speaking of Chicago, we have Wes Chamberlain. What's up, Wes?
What's up, Jake?
How you doing? All good?
Speaking of Chicago.
That Jeffro and John.
All right, so Wes, right from the get-go, before we start asking you questions, you are going to pick a winner because we have a T-shirt here. It's a long-sleeve Darren Daulton T-shirt.
Foundation.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 pieces of paper down in front of you. You're going to close your eyes, and you're going to point your finger somewhere. And that's going to win the T-shirt.
Okay, and then pick one of them.
Pick one of them. What do we got? For the winner of this T-shirt, Wes Chamberlain, what do we got?
Wait a minute. One on each side?
No,
just one. Just one.
Just one. Oh, okay.
Either one.
Don't look.
Don't look, Ethel.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, there. What do you got, Tom?
Okay, let's move your finger. Tim Dalby. Dalby.
All right, Tim Dalby. All right, we know Tom Tague is this.
Tim's right above Tom.
Tom Tague? Yeah, right there. Yep. Tim Dalby is right here.
Yes.
And we still have, we're going to give away the Dewey Crush fan
shortly.
pack at some point. All right, so Wes, you got here yesterday, right?
Oh, tell us about that. What happened? You were supposed to come in and play with us yesterday.
Yes, sir.
We had a little golf thing going on yesterday. What happened?
Thanks to Brett. Brett, the one booked the flight.
Now, tell who Brett is. Brett Dado, the head of the foundation.
The president, the head of the Darren Daulton Foundation, booked my flight on the same day of the golf outing.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Tell me about it, bro. I got clubs I couldn't use.
That's called a hard hang with him there, Chili.
Hank Williams.
Now, did you think you were on the DL or something?
Dude,
or?
tell me, look, you can't make this stuff up, John. I don't, look, you asking me, I'm just telling you.
Now, Brett is left-handed. Now, we can blame
Is he
that.
Really?
Yes, he is. He
Oh,
is
okay.
left-handed.
I
So we can blame that on that.
Yeah, but he's a lawyer. He should know details.
Thank you.
And that's details that shouldn't be overlooked right there. Because my man Wes came down to fantasy camp last year.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing I want to ask him about.
And was a huge hit.
Yes, he was.
Was it?
Go ahead, finish up.
How was your first trip to fantasy camp? And what was the other legend that you managed with?
That was my question to you. How was that? How did you enjoy that?
After 20 years of trying to get there, I really enjoyed it. It was worth the wait.
Who did you manage with?
Me and Dave Hollins.
Dave Hollins.
You did that.
And you guys are good buddies anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Now you went to his wedding.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Actually, I was the only teammate that showed up at his wedding.
They're too scared.
I didn't know he got married. I didn't know he got married.
Yeah.
All right, so let's bring it back. You came over to the Phillies in a trade, right?
Well, no, it wasn't a trade. It was a waiver blunder that they made out of a trade.
Okay.
So what it was that I was being designated for
Brett Meyer.
assignment.
Was Brett Dowder the GM back then? He screwed you up there
You know
too.
what?
He screwed you there too.
Him and Larry Doughty, they could probably be partners in crime. That's who was the GM for the Pirates.
So what happened?
Larry Doughty, that's who was the GM for the Pirates. So what it was, the strike year, and they changed the waiver ruling. So that's what happened. That's why they call it the waiver blunder. So they wind up making it a trade, which they wind up getting me, Tony Longmire, and Julio Peguero for Carmelo Martinez.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I remember that. Very, very, very dear.
And
very
what did you think of Philadelphia? That locker room right when you came in.
I didn't think about anything. I was just glad to be in the big leagues.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my first day of being in the majors, and hey, it was like, this is the way I got to get there. I mean, hey, well deserved.
Yeah. And then you know, obviously you get to the '93 season. '92, you guys, I think you finished in last place, right? Or you're close to the bottom. You weren't in contention.
Yeah, we was in last.
Right.
We had some guys that were banged up too. We had some injury-plagued year.
And then you also got some free agents in the offseason.
Yeah, I was one of those guys banged up. I broke my ankle that year.
Yeah, I was banged up too at the end.
So you guys, you acquire some people in the offseason. All of a sudden, spring training takes off, and you guys start doing really well in spring training.
Nah.
Right? I thought you guys did well in spring training because
we had a nice spring. But the thing about that is that we had to be conjoined because we had a nucleus that was there, and all the free agents signed and had to get along with all the new. It was a blending.
Right.
And
blended.
With that,
we blended.
yes, with that, and then you know what set it off was the game with the Cardinals when I got hit and we had to fight.
And I started, and I pitched. I'm the one that was involved in that one.
That was it. They beamed me, and all hell broke loose. And it was like, that's enough. I mean, I got hit for no reason at all.
Ricky Jordan got hit.
Yeah, and it was like, that's it. And that's when we
flipped.
blended.
And that's when it turned.
Yeah. That's when the free agents saw that, you know, the guys that were already there, they saw that already nucleus, and then they just jumped right in it, and that was it.
That was a jail moment. That was a jail moment.
That was it, and we wound up finishing spring training good.
We played well.
We played well, but we wasn't looking at the record, but the record was good, but it wasn't about that. It was about how they picked us to finish dead last.
Oh. Right.
Because we were already last, but there was just no gratification from the writers. Yeah. And it wasn't like we
stay out of the papers anyway.
That's all. It was just brought to our attention.
And it was an interesting team too because you guys had a lot of platoons, right? And sometimes you have platoons that can cause some, internal rift, right? But at the same time, you got a great leader in Darren Daulton, right? And you had Fregosi let you guys police yourselves, right?
Yep.
And it was kind of a veteran team. You had some guys that are no nonsense, but you also had a lot of guys that had tons of fun.
Yeah. Well,
so it was a really good blend.
Well, yes. I mean, it was what it was, and that's what I'm saying. That fight did it. I mean, because we were professionals.
Right.
And like you say, I've known the Greene since 90. So that was my third year in the major leagues. So that really showed me how to become a professional.
Yeah.
So
we had a bunch of guys like that. We had a bunch of professional guys too.
Well, we're here at a Darren Daulton Foundation event. Talk. What was your relationship with Darren, and talk about Darren as a leader.
Well, Bubba was our leader, and that's just. I mean, you can't say enough. I mean, Greene, he was a pitcher, so the leader. I mean, man, hands down. I mean, he always knew the timing because of his his experience with the organization and his leadership in the game. So, become a captain. He knew he earned all this. That's right.
He earned that. He earned that right for that. But also, he wasn't a boisterous guy. He wasn't a guy that was loud or anything. He expected you to play a certain way and to go about your business, sort of like he did.
Yes.
He held you accountable for that. And he just wasn't the only one.
No.
There were some guys in that clubhouse, and the one in particular I'm going to name right here doesn't get enough notoriety for it is Mariano Duncan. Mariano Duncan was one of those guys that expected you. He had a passion about the game, and he expected you to play and care about it like he did too, and play the right way. That dude's a winner. He's been on some championship teams. He's won. He knows how to play the game. He was one of those guys that kind of led by example. So Fregosi and Boa and Vuk and all the guys, they had the easiest job because nothing ever got to the coach's office.
Exactly. But I also say that Lenny, the dude,
he could play
the glue
for me any day.
I mean, Dutch was the man.
Yeah.
Lenny was the glue because Lenny was the one that was right there. I mean, when everything just,
he played it, he left it on the field.
Just be quiet and just do your job.
Yeah.
And then
that's what he
Jake
did.
And John Kruk was the other one. So I looked at Bubba, Jake, and Lenny, and like he said, Mariano, these guys veteran. Mariano has already won the World Series with Cincinnati. So
Cincinnati, yeah, I mean,
we had the guys there that knew the game and played the game. So young guys like me, myself, and Greene, we would just follow the leader and just go and do our job. That's why I said I learned how to become a professional. I mean, athlete. And then with that, I mean, you can play the game. You're a professional, but there's a characteristic. There's a way about going about your business. And like Greene said, Tommy said, that's how Bubba, that's how Dutch just led by example.
Yeah,
you got a guy with 2 surgically knees playing every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
How can you can't deny the heart.
No. And if you needed something said, if you needed, he was that guy. Hey, come on, let's talk. You know,
Yes.
you'd have a talk about some things that's happened or whatever, and he'd let you know what he saw and things and what needed possibly to change. Or, he was also one of those two. He'd look at you and he was there to give you a pat on the back too.
He was there to
that
check
type
you.
of dude.
He was there to check you, but he was there to love on you.
Yes, he was.
Wes, did you have a individual moment of your years with the Phillies that stands out that you kind of will always remember?
1993 World Series. 3 years, 3 rough years. I'm talking about from 90 to 93. I mean, and then, what people don't understand, 93 was the last formality. When I say formality, you have the wild cards now.
Yeah.
We had to strike the next year, which was 94.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you had to outright win the East and the West, and those were the team that played to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
And that's the part of history that I'm grateful.
Take pride in it. You take pride in it. Yeah.
1993 we came from last place to win, and I mean we had so many things that it was on.
It was a season worth of memories right there. You know what I remember? You talk about that's the thing that sticks out to me, and it kind of touches my heart, was when we clinched in Pittsburgh that night. We clinched in Pittsburgh, and to come in, and at the end of the night we're there, and Mel Roberts was sitting in his locker with a bottle of champagne, crying.
Wow.
Crying.
30 years it
30
took that
years
guy.
to
That's
win.
awesome.
To win. He says, I've never been a part of winning.
That's
And
great.
he was a minor leaguer. He
Yes.
was a predominantly. He's been in the organization 30 years.
Yes.
And he was a rookie coach.
Yes. And
You can't make that up.
that gives me. I got the chills.
Yeah, I got goosebumps too.
I got the chills thinking about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when you see like what Greene's saying, you know all of that right there. You say, what's the moment? I
Oh,
played
there
in
were so many
1993.
moments, but the things that stick out.
But to win it,
Yeah.
and then to clinch it, and then like the preparation, we weren't even prepared for the playoff at the time. We were still in the moment, but we still had that one mindset. And see, that was the one thing that I learned about professionalism. All 25 guys was one hand.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Downright.
Yeah.
And then after so great, we all stuffed into that little training room
And hung out after the game.
and so, and everybody was in there saying that was one of the best nights. That was the better night we had was in Pittsburgh. That
I don't
was
even
a
think
great
we
night.
went to bed.
Yeah,
we all stayed in.
I was supposed to pitch the next day.
At the
She looked
stadium.
at me and says, "You're not pitching tomorrow."
All right,
I said, "Good."
Harry had a nickname for everybody. You were Tita, right?
Yeah, Tita.
What do you call you, Wes?
He didn't have a nickname for me. He called me. He said I used to imitate Clemente because I led the team in outfield assists.
Okay.
So he didn't have a name, not a nickname. But he was. I mean,
I had a few.
yeah.
But Wes calls me Jethro. I got that from. I got that from.
Wait, you gave that name to him?
No. Atlanta gave it to him, but he called me. Then Kruk calls me Greene, and then obviously Harry called me Tita.
Greene,
And the reason he called me Tita because the day I threw the no-hitter, he had a Carolina blue tee in his pocket, and he put it in my pitch. He had it with him.
Right.
Tita Greene. Enjoy yourself
Thank
out
you.
here. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Dave Hollins, another fellow member of the 1993 team. You're listening to Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We're live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland.
And we look.
The Humeville Inn on Trenton Road in nearby Humeville is your hometown craft beer and pub food establishment since 1997, with daily specials and the best place to catch every Phillies game this season. The Humeville Inn has been consistently named the best bar in the burbs. Check out our homemade food specials, changing weekly. The Humeville Inn at the corner of Trenton and Humeville Roads in nearby Humeville. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your environment. BCWSA, prove it.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The life of an Eagles fan is a wild ride. Some years we triumph. Some years we don't. What never changes year after year is how we get to the game, shoulder to shoulder with our fellow fans on Septa. And this season, fans ride home free from NRG Station on the Broad Street line thanks to Unibet, an official casino and sportsbook partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Plan your trip to the game and learn more about free rides home, sponsored by Unibet at iseptaphilly.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We now return to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazer and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene. We just had Wes Chamberlain, Chili. Didn't even get into how he got his nickname Chili. Although he just told us that off the air.
Yeah.
Someone in 1987, Chili World, he was just chilling out, and they said, we're going to call him Chili.
Chili.
Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, and conductors. As a Septa employee, you will earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. By the way, you can watch the show at WBCBsports.com. or search WBCB Sports on YouTube. And you can listen to the show on 1490 WBCB, 107.3 FM, your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. And, Tommy, we got one more prize pack to give away.
Yes, we do.
We have a very valuable prize pack. It is a Dewey Crush. I had these last night here at the Chesapeake Inn. It is a great, it's vodka plus different fruit and flavored drinks. We have an 8-pack.
Yes.
And we have a T-shirt, a Dewey Crush T-shirt, and they have stickers.
And they got different flavors. What, the orange, the ruby
watermelon.
red, grapefruit, watermelon,
I can tell you,
and lemon.
very good. I sampled it last night, and
so that's what was going on with you.
Exactly. You heard it last night. And then the one of their investors is Kane Brown.
Yes.
The country artist.
Yes, you were telling me about that. That was interesting.
Cool. So somebody's going to get a Dewey Crush variety pack. Again, a Dewey Crush T-shirt and Crush stickers. All right, 2 of the winners came from this sheet.
Yeah, we're going to use that one.
Dave Hollins, we're putting you to work. We want you to close your
eyes
and blindly point to a name, and that's going to be the winner of the Dewey Crush thing. So.
Well, I don't have to close my eyes. I can't even see it right now.
All right, so just look at it and point down there. What do we got? All right, Tommy, what do you got?
Which one did you put right there? Let's go right there. Yeah, Jeanette Bell.
Jeanette Bell. If there's a Jeanette Bell
is
here.
Is there a Jeanette Bell in the house?
Gets the Dewey Crush prize pack thanks to my man Andrew. Jeanette Bell. So we will track down that winner. All right, right now we just had Wes Chamberlain, right?
Yes.
We had Scott Air, and now we got one of your good teammate buddies, Dave Hollins. What's up, Dave?
I don't have enough words to say about this man right here. You know, as far as a teammate and a friend and a person. He's I can't, foxhole guy, dear friend, salt of the earth. He's my boy, man.
Well,
we kind of come in together a little bit with the Phillies. He come that spring, and I come during the year that year.
And let me just tell you, in 1994, when I first started, right, and you played with the Phillies, obviously. When was your last year with the Phillies?
Well, 95 I got traded, but I came back in 03.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I had 2 stints with you.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I was scared to death of you.
I've seen that.
I'd go into the clubhouse, I'd be like, oh, man, there's Dave.
I got to talk to Dave.
And now look at the guy. He's a teddy bear.
Got to make up for being an asshole
No,
for
you
20
weren't.
years.
You weren't an ass. You were just intimidating. There's a difference between intimidation and being an ass, and you were on the intimidation category.
Well, I appreciate that.
I tell you what, he played the game the right way.
Right.
I tell you what, it was nobody. You knew what you were getting from this man every day. Every day.
And you hurt, I think it was 94 when you hurt your hamate, right? Was that 94?
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Touchy subject.
Yes,
but
sir.
I do want to come back as a finesse player in my next lifetime. Yeah, this max effort shit.
All right.
Not that fun.
All right. All right, so when you talk about your Phillies experience, I mean, we were just talking with Wes Chamberlain about the 93 team. I mean, did you see it coming at all? Nobody, the fans didn't see it coming. But you obviously know the team.
We saw it coming as a team because we actually led the league in runs scored in 92.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people know that because we finished in last place.
Yeah.
Right.
But we saw the pitching coming together. And the following year, when Tommy starts off 8 or 10-0, you pick up a Danny Jackson, and Kurt Schilling moves into the rotation. And you already got Mulholland and Ben Rivera. So we knew we had the starters, and then I think we added 4 veteran relievers that year to go behind Mitch. Was it Larry, Westy?
Roger Mason come during the year.
Roger Mason, Thigpen.
Yep.
Am I missing anybody? I mean, those are 4 right there.
And veterans that had winning experience.
Yes.
And
with playoff and experience. So we thought when we got together in 93 in spring training, we thought, hey, this team could win. And we did right from the beginning because we knew we were going to score, and now we had guys that were going to shut the other team down.
What do you think was one of the key things? I know I look back at it the year of the total year happened when they brought Stocker in the middle of the year. That kind of solidified things up the middle.
Position player-wise, that was the final piece because defensively up the middle, we weren't great at that time. But when Mickey came to second and you put Stocker and Dutch and then it all, Stocker took care of. I mean, I covered the bag on the left side. When the ball was hit, I just ran over to the bag. He caught everything.
Well, wait. He just told the story. We had Kevin Stocker at an event last week. We had Kevin Stocker at an event last week, and he said that Dave came over to me and said, I hate pop-ups.
You got all of them.
He goes, you got all the pop-ups. I don't care. And so Kevin's like, keeps going over there. He's like, you got it. Right?
Well, he said he loved him. He goes, they help my fielding percentage. I love pop-up. I go, you got every one of them. I'll cover the bag.
Hey, I knew that, and so every ball up there, I was yelling, Stocker for him.
And I know Larry Bowe had told him when he first came up, he said, look, I don't even care if you hit 100. Field every ball. That's your job. And the funny thing is, Kevin Stocker ended up, I think he was a team leader in batting average.
Well, I think he hit like 315 or 20.
Yeah,
Did he really?
It was Stocker or Eisenreich, one of the two. Oh. But yeah, and he was told, just play defense. I don't care what you do with the bat.
Yeah. And they moved him.
There's another one of those stats nobody brings up. You don't even know Kevin Stocker. Just like nobody brings up stitches in a throwing hand. 17 days later, you're throwing a baseball across the diamond. Wondering why you can't throw accurately. How long do they sit out today?
Right. Yeah.
7 weeks for Trout, and then he said, "I can't do it." You know what I mean? Like there's a reason.
Hey, legitimately, Dave, they broke the mold with you, pal. Yeah, that mold you don't find players like you anymore.
You wanted it was a group of guys. Everybody was kind of the same.
Yeah.
What I liked about
wanting to be out there together.
What I liked about that team too is that, just from a fan's perspective, is that especially the top of the order, man, you guys wore out pitchers. I mean, just saw tons of pitches, took walks, got hits. It just seemed that the starting pitcher, whoever it was worn out by the fourth, fifth inning, right? Because you got Kruk and Daulton and
Brazer, that doesn't work if only one or two guys does it. So you're right. When you got a lineup full of guys, as a pitcher, know, when they're running deep counts on you, I mean, it adds up.
It adds up quick. You know, that's stressful innings. You know, is what it comes out. You know, and that's one thing Fergosi always talked about is he could tell with us pitchers. You know, he didn't need a pitch count.
No.
He knew how things were going during the course of the game. Those stressful innings and the way guys worked us, or the way y'all worked guys. You know, how things were going to happen, you know. So, that was such a cool thing. I've always had a question for you. I know one of the greatest compliments, I heard the way you play the game, I think I heard Boa say one time that you were probably one of the best, if not the best guy from first to third he's ever seen or ever, you know. And where did you get, obviously people didn't really know how fast how much of an athlete you are, how well you ran. You know, but also the smarts you had up there, the way you ran the bases. It was unbelievable.
It's also effort, Tommy. One thing about running the bases, you'll notice with guys, you got to get a good secondary lead, and then you got to bust your tail back to the base. So if you're doing that every pitch, you know, there's guys, they're resting up for the defense or their next at bat. They don't want to do it.
Right.
So the key to that is not as much speed, even though you got to be able to run a little bit. But that secondary lead, getting out there so that when the ball is hit, boom, you're gone. That's the difference of that bang play at third, where you're safe or you're out. So like I tell my boys who play, it's effort over there.
Right.
Anybody can do it, but it takes effort.
Right.
Yes.
And
your knowledge of what's going on in the game, where outfielders and stuff are positioned.
You got to know the outs. You don't want to make a third out. You don't want to make a mistake when you know you can score from second. You don't want to chance something going to third.
Yeah.
And you got to know your outfielder's arms. You know, if you got Larry Walker or Andre Dawson in right field and the ball's hit sharply through there, well, if you don't get a good jump, you got to shut that one down because they're going to throw you out.
You know, who's one of the best base runners I've really not ever seen, but one of the best base runners I've seen is getting inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame this Friday. Scott Rowland.
Oh yeah.
You know, for a big guy,
he's a big
for a big guy,
too.
he had the instincts, he had the hustle factor, he had the knowledge, right? I mean,
he did everything right. In fact, I texted him before his induction. He got right back to me. The guy, I got a chance to play with him when I came back. And as a former third base, I was amazed. I've never seen. Now I didn't get to see Mike Schmidt play.
Right.
I've never seen anybody play third base like this man can play third base.
With that size too.
Right.
Yes.
He's
a
big
man.
Yes, but he could get to every ball. And his arm, I used to take his throws over at first. I used to tell guys I could sit in a chair like this with a glove.
Right.
And he said, oh yeah. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
He didn't have that late movement like you had.
Whereas when I was throwing, the people were ducking in the stands behind. Holy shit. You done? Yeah, all right, I'm loose.
That's right. All right, we got to go to break. Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Dave Hollins.
All right.
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Coming up on the show, we'll wrap up. We'll have Brett Datto on the show to talk about the Darren Daulton Foundation. You're listening to the Septa Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton, and now heard as well on FM at 107.3 FM, W297CL, Levittown.
The Humeville Inn on Trenton Road in nearby Humeville is your hometown craft beer and pub food establishment since 1997, with daily specials and the best place to catch every Phillies game this season. The Humeville Inn has been consistently named the best bar in the burbs. Check out our homemade food specials, changing weekly. The Humeville Inn, at the corner of Trenton and Humeville Roads in nearby Humeville. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, prove it.
We now return to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazer and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live for the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City, Maryland. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene. Tommy, they're all coming in.
Oh, yes, they are.
Huge pack here at the Chesapeake Inn in Chesapeake City. All right, before we get to our next guest and last guest, Brett Data, the president of the Darren Daulton Foundation. Mickey Morandini's upset that he wasn't asked to be on here. The comic. I guess I'll be sent up to Kangaroo Court.
Yes, yeah, you might be the first guy up this year,
all right,
Brazer.
here's the lineup for the 2:15 game against the Cardinals, going for the sweep. So for the fight and Phil, well, actually, we'll start with the St. Louis Cardinals. We've got Nootbaar playing center field. We got Goldschmidt batting second. Burleson DHing batting third. Arenado batting fourth. Palacios batting fifth. Walker going sixth. Edmonds seventh. Knizner eighth. And Queracudo. Try that one.
Hey,
all right.
Yeah, say that name
For the fight and Phils, we have Kyle Schwarber looking to get some Schwar bombs.
Yeah.
44 home runs. Batting first, playing left field. Trey Turner batting second, shortstop. Bryce Harper DHing, batting third. Bohm, he's putting together a nice little season, too, by the way.
Yes, he is.
He's hitting 290, 17 home runs after being out for a long time. We got Alec Bohm batting fourth, playing third base. Bryson Stott playing second base. JT Realmuto catching. Brandon Marsh center field. Castellanos batting eighth, and Jake Cave is playing first base. So that's Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Bohm, Stott, Realmuto, Marsh, Castellanos, Cave, and on the mound we have Taijuan Walker.
Yeah.
And
we need him. We need him to get going. Yeah.
Well, and we're also
got a great record, but we need him to start hitting the stride a little bit.
Well, and we're also facing Dakota Hudson, who we beat up last time. He's 6-2.
Yeah.
But he's got a 5.10 ERA.
Oh, he can give it up too.
We need to. We got him last time.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can get him today. Go for the sweep to hold off those Cubs and the other teams.
Yes.
All right. So we have Brett Data on. We've had him on before. He is the president of the Darren Daulton Foundation.
Yes, he is.
Brett, great event so far. We're an hour in. You got a packed crowd here. You've got photo booths. You got auction items.
It's a great day.
It's a great day.
It's a great day.
Perfect
and
venue.
Great people, and we didn't have Mickey Morandini on today, so how could it be any better than that?
Well, I wanted to have a great show.
That's right. So, you did.
Right.
You did.
Y'all get off my boy, Mickey, man.
All right. So, Brett, you've been the start of the foundation. We've said this before, but you started this foundation about how many years ago?
10 years ago, 2013.
How about that?
When Darren was diagnosed.
Yes.
Right. Now, Darren had another cause before. I think it was the homeless. Right?
Yes.
And then when he had glioblastoma, you decided to change the focus of the foundation.
That's right. And we're a nonprofit. All the money raised goes to help applicants who are affected by the same type of brain cancer.
Yeah.
If they can't pay their bills, we'll step in and help their daily needs.
Yes.
And it's small grants that you give.
Small
right?
grants up to $3,000, and we grant up to one time a year. And we don't pay the provider directly, but we'll pay their medical bills, their doctors,
or
whatever,
their rent,
or their
car
mortgages.
bills,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's great. So it's real impact to people. It's not, there's a lot of foundations have a lot of marketing, but it's pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, people come to us when they're really financially struggling because obviously they're not working because of the disease.
Right.
So we step in at a time when they're really,
really in need.
Really in need financially.
How do people get involved?
Yeah, the main way is go to our website, DarrenDaultonFoundation.org. There's an application on there, so if you are suffering from brain cancer, you can go on, fill out an application. And if you're not affected by the brain cancer but you want to get involved with the foundation, just register on our website to volunteer or go to our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and follow us there.
And that's what's been so amazing. I mean, right now, I've noticed over here the past year or so, you're ramping up. There are more events, more things happening. So there's plenty of opportunities for people to get involved.
Yeah.
So we really need people out there to get involved.
And you have the marquee event coming up next month on Columbus Day.
Yep, so we have actually 2 events coming up that weekend, Columbus weekend. Our celebrity bartending at the Live Casino on Sunday.
Blast.
It's a
I love
blast.
that.
25 former Phillies came out last year. It was a great time. They all wear the jerseys, serve their cocktails of choice. And that's Sunday, October 8th. And then the next day, our annual golf tournament at Huntington Valley Country Club. 10th
Beautiful
anniversary.
place.
10th anniversary. That number 10 mean anything?
Yes. Oh,
And are you
yes,
guys
it does.
are you sold out?
We're completely sold out, but there are dinner tickets available on
That's
our
right,
website.
and that's 27 holes.
27
No,
holes.
sold out,
We
man.
sold out.
But for those that want to come to the event but come to the dinner portion, which is great, you get to mingle with all the players. Who are some of the people coming in?
We got John Kruk, who's been very vocal about supporting us. He's one of our ambassadors coming out this year. Ruben Amaro, obviously Tommy, Greene, Mickey Morandini. A lot of the guys who there are the ambassadors to the foundation. Then we got guys like Scott Ayer, Dickie Knowles. We got Milt Thompson. You name it, they're coming out. They support us.
Do you have my man Bernie Perrant coming out?
Bernie Perrant always comes to our events. He loves the golf outing.
What a great
What
guy,
a great
man.
guy.
Love
Yep.
Bernie. Bernie and Jeannie.
Doing great.
Well, great people.
Will Scott Freeze be at the event?
No, Scott's not invited this
Freeze.
year. He's been banned, and unfortunately, so. But we'll give him a pass for next year.
Well, I got to give you a lot of kudos because the foundation's a great cause. You've really kind of created great events, and the fact that all these guys come in. You had Wes Chamberlain come in from Chicago. You had Danny Jackson come in from Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Steve Jeltz is here, but he came from Lancaster.
Harrisburg.
He's at
Hey, it's
Harrisburg.
Still Harrisburg.
Right down the road.
Dave Hollins came from South Carolina.
Dave Hollins, South
actually
Carolina.
Scott Ayer
drove up, right?
Scott Ayer from North Carolina. I mean, we just bring them from all over the country.
Well, good luck. This event goes until
till 4:00 today, and then all the money goes to raise awareness for brain cancer and to help families.
Okay, I got to ask a
hold on,
question.
Tom. We got to wrap it up because sorry, get it in.
I just want to ask him what happened to his foot over here. He got hit by a sniper, or
Mickey Morandini stepped on it.
He's in a walk.
He was mad. He was mad.
All right, before we let you go, your prediction for today: are the Phillies going to sweep the Cardinals?
The Phillies are going to sweep. It's going to be a 4-2 win.
Really?
Yeah.
You calling that close, huh?
4-2 win.
4-2 win. You heard it from Brett. And also, do you know Jeanette Bell? Because we need to give away the Dewey Crush prize pack here. Jeanette Bell. We'll find her out.
Jeanette Bell.
All right.
All right.
Brett, I really appreciate it. Thank you very
John.
much.
Thanks, Tommy.
And that wraps
You
up
got it,
today's
pal.
Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA Live from the Chesapeake Inn. Thanks to my co-host, Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer, Chris Ermer, back in the studio. Brooks St. Ives. We got John Marco, who's the man.
You got it right that time, Brazer.
John Marco and the great people at the Chesapeake Inn for hosting us all weekend. Thanks to our guests today. We had John Marco on, Brett Dado. We had Wes Chamberlain, Chili. We had Dave Hollins, Scott Ayer. Thanks to you for listening. The Baseball Insider Show will be back next Sunday at Pass and Stowe at Citizens Bank Park for our last regular season show. Regular season show.
Hope many more to come.
From 1 to 2 before the Phils take on the Mets. Have a great week. And as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
You've been listening to the Septa Baseball Insider Show presented by Lactico. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, heard throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.